Welcome, folks, to a new series by me, your host Bama Chan Studios, called The Economics Experiment, where I help you all understand and decode some of the most relevant economics and financial theory relevant to your real life and everything around you in a visual fashion so you don't grow bored of that dusty textbook in that corner. Today, we come across the most fundamental topic in economics demand. What can we define as demand? Well, demand is the willingness and ability to buy a product or service. If you notice, all our decisions on whether we want to purchase an item or even if we want to buy cookies or make them are all based on demand. Let me explain. An important law in economics is the law of demand, which suggests that the demand of a product is inversely proportional to its price, which it is being sold for. Let us break this down. Let me introduce what happened at my bakery where I sell cookies, brownies, and cakes. On my first day, I sold my famous steaming brownies for $10 and I got about 8 customers. So clearly, there were a lot of people wanting to buy the same. On day 2, however, I sold the same for just $5 and as expected, 25 customers rolled in to try them. We can also represent these sales on a graph and call them the demand curve. This explains the relationship between price and the demand, which is the number of customers in this case. And as we see, it shows the relationship between them forming a negative slope. This represents the law of demand, and in many cases, it will also either shift or extend. There are, however, some cases where the law of demand may not hold true. These are known as exceptions to the law of demand. For instance, luxury brands are associated with status, and hence, if an item such as a handbag is a very good quality one and have more people seeking to buy it if it is more expensive due to its luxury status, that would mean that its demand would increase as the price increases, which is contrary to the law of demand. Another exception to the law of demand is that of staple items such as rice, poultry, and bread. Because even if the price of this increases, it is unlikely that the demand would change by much, if at all, because these are important and necessary for survival as they serve as staples for consumption, and people cannot survive without these constituents. Therefore, it is unlikely the demand would increase. Price is not the only factor that would influence demand. Let's take a look at a few other examples of factors that can influence the same. These are called the determinants of demand. In my bakery store, another observation I noted was that on hotter days, ice creams sold more than the more chilly/colder days. Why? Because of the weather and environment. This is an important determinant of demand, as it can influence the demand of products based on the variable temperature and living conditions, be it ice cream, a swimming pool, or even high octane energy power plants at a large scale. The interest in purchasing these commodities or services all rely highly on geographical conditions. Another determinant of demand is the competition of the prices of complementary, supplementary, as well as substitute goods. If my competitor sells brownies or even cakes that taste as good as my brownies, and if he lowers his price while mine is still the same, the demand for my brownies would decrease. If he also spends money on advertising and I don't, that means he may gain more impressions and that could impress or increase his demand for his products. Advertisement plays a crucial role in markets where there are multiple sellers. There are a number of other factors that influence demand, such as population dynamics, changes in taste and exclusivity of the product, but all of this leads us to one common idea. Demand can be easily shifted and moved very quickly, and a seller must adapt to such different shifts if he wishes to survive in a market economy. The principle of demand is very useful when we wish to review our sales or product promotional strategies. And once you come across this very commonly in your day-to-day life, you'll be able to apply it in every single case. And who knows, it may also be useful to stop a hawker from swindling you. Thanks for watching, and until then, I'll be experimenting with economics.